everyone. My top 10 coming up now. Don't know if there'll be any surprises for any people here. I think a lot of these films are in everyone's top 50. I do rate a few of them a bit higher than some people, but let's crack on with the top 10 anyway. Number 10. Sorry about the glare there. You know, Peter Jackson's Brain Dead. I went and saw this at the actual cinema and I absolutely loved it. I've just put this above Bad Taste. I think Bad Taste is equally as good, but out of the Peter Jackson films, I'll put Brain Dead down. You know, sort of loads of laugh out loud moments, some, you know, great gore effects as well, and very funny. It's a really funny film. I really like the Kung Fu Vicar. I thought he was awesome in that. So funny as well, and you know, there's this little zombie baby there. Zombie nurse ends up having sex with a zombie vicar, and they end up giving birth to that. And oh, that is such a funny scene as well. But you know, real good sort of comedy sort of zombie film, and you know, outrageously gory and proper laugh out loud. A little bit like Monty Python with gore. Well, that's what I think anyway. But brilliant film. That's my number 10. Peter Jackson's Brain Dead. Number 9. Which I've seen on a lot of people's top 50, sorry, but never seen it rated so highly, but I think it's an awesome movie, and that's The Burning. Like I said earlier in one of my earlier lists, I'm not a huge slasher fan, but this one is like the perfect slasher film for me. It's definitely the best sort of summer camp sort of slasher. I think I prefer this over any of the Friday the 13th. I just think Crops is such a cool killer. I really like the killer on it, and you know, this really brutal scene involving a raft. I'm not going to give too much away in case people haven't seen it, but that is a phenomenal scene, the raft scene, and I just really likeable characters as well. All the characters in it, a lot of the ones you really didn't want to get killed because you really like the characters in there. And I found in the Friday the 13th, a lot of the characters that died were really annoying, but they're really nice sort of, you know, decent characters, really nice characters in this one, and I thought they were great, and just a general, you know, real good sort of a summer camp slasher movie, and yeah, why this didn't have sequels is beyond me, because they could have made this into a franchise easily, but a very underrated film in my opinion, and that's my number 9. Number 8 now, Hellbound Hellraiser 2. I've put this one above the first one as well. First one is a phenomenal movie as well, but with this one, it's just the atmosphere in this one and the sort of the depiction of hell, and I just loved that. I thought that was amazing. Hit the vision of hell in there, and all, you know, the different ways that people are getting, you know, are suffering in hell and that. And I thought the special effects were, you know, a little bit better in this one, and I love that that Dr. Channard, he was such an evil sort of Cenobite in that. He was you know, sort of even, you know, more than a match than Pinhead for Pinhead, I think, in him. It was a superb Cenobite there. And, you know, he was only in that one film as well, Dr. Channard, but I do love that Hellbound Hellraiser 2. I do like I love the first 4 Hellraisers, but they did start to drop off after that, but gone for Hellraiser 2 there. Next one now, which is my number 7. Amazing Stuart Gordon film, Reanimator. Another one that is, you know, quite comedy. It's got quite a lot of comedy in it, but brilliant sort of 80s. Well, I guess you'd call it a zombie movie, really. But everyone knows the story. This guy here, Herbert West, invents a serum which brings dead back to life, and also like dead tissue. Hence why he injects the head in that. But amazing movie. I managed to get this the Elite edition, the Elite DVD from the US Region 1, because at the time, I think the UK one was cut, so I ended up just getting this one. But the Arrow release looks really good on this, and that's another one I would definitely consider upgrading to. But yeah, Reanimator there, that's my number 7. Number 6 now, which is probably one of the few fairly modern films I've got that's actually in my top 15. It's actually as high as 6. But a lot of people who know me know I really love this movie, so I've put it actually in my top 10. And that is Wreck. Oh, sorry about that. A Spanish movie about a woman who ends up doing like a sort of a documentary sort of type show with a fire service, gets called out to this building, and basically they get trapped in there and it gets sealed off, and there's like some sort of outbreak in the place, and they're basically locked in there with all these sort of infected people, and basically they're just trying to get out, but they can't. And you know, other bits and bobs happening in the film. There's stuff about a little possessed girl who lives in the attic and that. And I think in terms of intensity, one of the most intense modern horror films I've seen. Even they say here the scariest film ever, and it's certainly one that, you know, makes you gasping for breath. And I do love this movie, and certainly one of the better modern films I think I've seen, you know, for ages. So there you go. That's Wreck. That's my number 6. Number 5 now, which is a bit of a classic. I think in everybody's top 50. American Werewolf in London. Don't need to say anything about this. Phenomenal movie, probably the best werewolf movie ever made. You know, a lot of comedy in it as well, so quite darkly comic though, but phenomenal movie, and that's actually number 5 on mine there. So American Werewolf in London. Number 4, another one that everyone's got in there, is Dawn of the Dead. And my favourite zombie film, probably this one by far. Just love this movie. I love the setting in the mall. I mean, the setting in the mall is genius. And, you know, brilliant zombie film, and astonishing gore for the time. A lot of people have put Day of the Dead in theirs. I do like Day of the Dead, but I don't really like the setting of the military bunker in that one. So that's probably the reason I have picked Dawn of the Dead out, because I just love the shopping mall setting. But that's my number 4 there, which is Dawn of the Dead. Number 3, which is one of the first horror films I ever saw. I loved it. John Carpenter's The Thing. John Carpenter's best film he's ever made. The feeling of paranoia in the film is phenomenal. Wonderful acting in it. It's one of them sort of who, you know, don't know who to trust, and people turning on each other, and some of the gore effects were astonishing. The creature effects, amazing movie, and that's my number 3. Number 2, we're getting nearly there now, but this has been in a couple of people's top 50s, but I love this film. I think it was in somebody's top 10, but this only just missed out on number 1 for me, and that's this. Clive Barker's Nightbreed. I rate this film unbelievably highly. I mean, it did only just miss out on number 1 by a whisker. I think it was released in 1990, and I think I rented it from the video shop, and I loved it that much. Originally, I actually bought an ex-rental VHS copy of it, and for some reason, never ever got. To my knowledge, it's never ever got released on DVD in the UK. So I was just hunting, managed to pick up a Region 1 release, which is great. And this is like the normal, regular theatrical cut though. Really dying to get the director's cut of this. But as far as I know, it's only on Blu-ray, American Region A Blu-ray. So I am going to have to wait for my new Blu-ray player, unfortunately, but I'll definitely be upgrading to the director's cut of this when I get my new Blu-ray player. But I do love this movie so much. Like I say, this really wanted this to be number 1, but it just missed out by the tiniest fraction. But yeah, Nightbreed number 2. I do love it. Phenomenal movie. And well, anyone who knows me has probably guessed it. It's got to be this one, hasn't it? Fright Night, my number 1 horror movie of all time. It's just like basically the perfect vampire movie. Perfectly cast. I mean, Roddy McDowall was superb in it. Chris Sarandon as the vampire was superb in it. You know, what's his name now? What's the guy's name played the one? Oh, William Ragsdale. You know, he was quite good, but to me, it was Roddy McDowall and Chris Sarandon that were outstanding in that. Brilliant makeup effects. I love the creature effects in it. Just a really good typical 80s vampire film, and I can't ever imagine a vampire film ever beating it, and do love it. This was one I watched years and years ago, one of the first few horror films I watched as well, and I've always really been in love with this movie. And I've got the sequel, Fright Night 2. You know, it was okay. It was not a patch on this one though, but yeah, Fright Night's my number 1 horror film of all time. So, quick recap of my final top 10. Number 10, Peter Jackson's Brain Dead. Number 9, The Burning. Number 8, Hellbound Hellraiser 2. Number 7, Reanimator. Number 6, Wreck. Number 5, An American Werewolf in London. Number 4, Dawn of the Dead. Number 3, John Carpenter's The Thing. Number 2, the vastly underrated Nightbreed. And number 1, everyone pretty much guessed it there, but yep, Fright Night. So that's all the top 10 there. Thanks all for watching. Don't know if anyone had guessed my number 1. I think a couple of people who know me might have guessed that as number 1. But yeah, I've really enjoyed doing this. I've been one of the hardest things I've ever had to do though. And now maybe in another year's time I could read it again and just see if any of it changes. Who knows? But yeah, that's that series over and done with. I might try and think some other videos to think of doing. I might do a video of ones that were almost in the top 50, just mistake, you know, honourable mentions. That's an idea running through my head. I'll see how I go with that. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, bye.